Y'all.
I see y'all out there, man. What's
What's going on, guys? How you doing? How you feeling? Hope you're having a great day, evening, night, morning, wherever you at. What we got?
We got Thomas Sowell, man. Why is it
Sowell.
foolish to keep worrying about income brackets?
Now, that's a good question. Why? Let's hit it.
I might need to hear this.
Why
I need to
is
hear this
it
myself.
foolish to keep worrying about income brackets? Because if you want to keep elevating, you got to focus on it, don't you?
Income facts and fallacies. You deal with a number of topics in economic facts and fallacies about fallacies concerning income inequality, and so forth. Let's take three: income stagnation, executive pay, and social mobility. Income stagnation. You quote disapprovingly this assertion in the Washington Post: the incomes of most American households have remained stubbornly flat over the past 3 decades. I say you quote that, and then you go on to demolish that. Would you demolish it for us, please?
That statement, as it's made, has some semblance of validity. But the problem is you're talking about households rather than about flesh and blood human beings.
Okay.
One of the real fallacies that runs through a lot of talk about income is confusing statistical categories with actual flesh and blood people.
Okay.
Households are of different sizes. They vary over time. They vary from one group to another. They vary from one income level to another. So, for example, there are 39 million people in the bottom 20% of households and 64 million in the top 20%. So you're saying, yes, 24 million additional people do tend to have more money. The household thing is really a tip-off, I think. Whenever I see somebody quoting household income, he's trying to make things look bad. You know.
It's as simple as that. All right.
Yes.
All right. There's a rule of life.
Yes. For example, over a period of about 30 years, the household income rose by only 6%.
Okay.
Over those same years, per capita income rose by 51%. Because the number of people per household was declining all the while.
I see.
And when you're comparing income brackets, the number of working people in the top 20% is some multiple of the number of working people in the bottom 20%.
I see. So this notion that society is a layer cake divided into quintiles it's even quintiles is just wrong.
You can do it by category, but that's not doing it by people.
Right. Okay. Executive pay. One of the most popular, I'm quoting you, one of the most popular and fallacious explanations of the very high salaries of corporate executives is greed. Now, why is that a fallacious explanation?
Okay.
Because you could become the greediest person in the world, and it would not raise your income by one dime.
I've tried it, actually, and it hasn't raised my income. So the question, what's the correct analytical point of departure for examining executive pay then?
The question is not why they accept this money, but why other people are offering it to them.
Right. Let's go.
And that's a matter of competition. Now, some people argue, that you have these various boards on the corporation who are very generous in handing out the stockholders' money to the executives, and that's why they get these high salaries.
Right.
Now, if you wanted to actually test that against it,
See, I agree with that because I have an organization that it's an organization I'm part of that, sometimes you hear a lot of hollering about why does this head person make what I make in a year, they make more than that in a month. Because you don't possess the skill level, or you haven't done what they've done and been what they've been through and coached and managed what they've managed to become that. So whenever I hear people talking about, well, they making this, that is such a poor mindset, and you're probably in a poor place because you're not looking at how they got in that position to get that income. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
anything, you would say, all right, there are some corporations which are not owned by thousands of stockholders, owned by 2 or 3 huge financial companies.
Which have highly paid analysts to
Yes.
monitor exactly what's going on.
Yes.
All right.
Though that's where the corporate CEOs get the highest pay of all. These people are, they have billions of dollars of their own money at stake, and they're not going to be penny wise and pound foolish to try to get someone for the lowest price. The guy is the guy who's going to protect their billions. They'll throw him $100 million and consider it's nothing.
That makes sense.
Social mobility. Again, this is a passage you quote disapprovingly. It comes from the New York Times, so it does does. They know how to write in an oracular fashion. It does sound
as if they just come from interviewing God, and
Yes,
this is what He told them.
It does sort of simply sound true. Quote, merit has replaced, this is talking about social mobility, class distinctions, and so forth. Merit has replaced the old system of inherited privilege. We begin with good news. However, it's the New York Times, so we will end with bad news. But merit, it turns out, is at least partly class-based. Parents with money, education, and connections cultivate in their children the habits that the meritocracy rewards. So, even though we've replaced inherited privilege with meritocracy, now we discover that merit is inherited. Now, it does sound plausible. What's wrong with that as a matter of analysis?
I can think of a number of
So he's saying that you've gotten to the certain level, that you inherited this level versus working for and getting that merit, like it was just given to you.
of heiresses and bimbos who would be an argument to the contrary, but I won't go that route. First of all, people aren't paid for merit. They're paid for productivity. You know, someone who had all kinds of handicaps to overcome, you know, might have a tremendous amount of merit just to end up as a trained carpenter. And somebody who was born with a silver spoon in his mouth, sent to the finest schools that money could buy, may have no greater merit in becoming a brain surgeon.
Wow.
But that's not the point. The question is whether the brain surgeon's productivity is greater than that of the carpenter. So merit is really not part of it. But the other thing is that the question is, what are you trying to end up with? Are you trying to end up with the best qualified people doing the job or not?
Right.
I mean, if I have to have brain surgery, and I'm told that the guy who's going to perform the brain surgery is the world's greatest brain surgeon, but he was born with a silver spoon in his mouth and had every privilege. Am I to say, no, give me somebody, you know, who had to fight his way up and who had just barely made the cutoff?
Right.
Suppose
Ain't no
I
way.
don't know what
I'm
the New York
good.
Times writer had in mind.
Absolutely
Everybody
not.
don't have to come to the bottom for you to respect them.
And I really feel like this, you know, I don't really care about your background per se as choices in life, you know, all of that stuff. I want to know if you're the best at what you do. And then how did you get to be that? Meaning, you know, where are the facts to say that you really are the best at what you do? That's my main concern. I don't care about the ladder you had to climb to get there. I just want to make sure that you are the best at what you do and you got, you know, morals and values.
That's how, you know, on the secular rap
Good
side.
morals and values.
Right. On the secular rap side, it was almost like that's a big thing on that side, where if you didn't get it out the mud, people can't feel how you feel, respect what you do, and feel your story because you didn't get it out the mud. Everybody has struggled to be successful.
No, I don't agree. Yeah, that's right.
But suppose I argue, let's follow the duty of charity and assume that what the New York Times reporter has in mind is a just society. Let's suppose that what they want is a just society, and that is simply not useful in analyzing social mobility.
No,
it's not.
No, it depends on what notion of justice you have. If you mean by justice treating everybody alike, we can go there. If you mean a society in which everyone has equal probabilities, not equal opportunities, equal probability of succeeding, I find that virtually inconceivable. There are so many thousands of factors at work that I find it hard to even imagine how all those factors could work out the same for everybody.
And now what about equal opportunity?
Equal opportunity, yes. But you see, you can have a society of equal opportunity. One kid's family sits around at dinner time and talks about sports, and the other kid's family sits around at dinner time and talks about science. And they do that for 20 years. And now they have an equal opportunity to get into Harvard. Who do you think is most likely to make it?
Gotcha.
Now that's on the real. The one that know about basketball is gonna smoke out the person that know about the science. But then the one that knows about the science is the one that's gonna know everything he need to do to get up in Harvard, and they're gonna be well educated when he get up in that school.
Yeah, the one that knows about basketball is going to smoke out the one that knows about the science. Smoke and what?
He said that he was saying which one is going to be more focused on Harvard. Your family
Yeah,
said
not the one that talks about sports.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
The
But that's not what you just said.
Well, what I'm saying is the basketball person will smoke the science person out on basketball.
Right.
But when it's getting to the education and you going and trying to go into this field, the basketball person want to go into the science field. The science person is going to the science field. The science person getting in because they have all the prerequisites and have talked that thing through.
Yeah.
But he is absolutely right. That's not merited. That's actually that's educated. That's educated, not merited. That wasn't just given to you.
Yeah. But I mean, I agree. If someone has a silver spoon and they were given, you know, but they have the credentials because they did the work. Who cares? Because they, you know, that was their life.
I want somebody to
you
get
know,
out the mud.
I don't care about all that. I want to know. You know, I want to know
that only matter in
your level of
sense.
expertise, and just like you got there, as it's been said, that you have people who go to school. You have all different levels and grades who graduated. So do you want the A++ surgeon working on you, or do you want the C- D, you know, surgeon barely made it working on you because they still surgeons? You know what I'm saying? It makes sense. So
no,
yeah, it's not about that for me.
No. Whatever you have become, I don't care what your history is to that point. Are you great? And am I going to be good?
Okay, that's it. Primarily.
So
that's
anyway,
it.
man, like, comment, subscribe. Don't take a
Nosedive.
We're coming out in the section below.
You want some more? Like